And tell me about how you ended up here. How did you hear about this work, and what brought you here? What was the pull kind of to come here?
Yeah, we met Igor in Amsterdam, where he gave a teaching for an hour in a place where we went dancing. And I was really impressed by his deep knowledge. It was totally clear already in this little moment that he spoke, that he speaks from a deep transcendental experience and from a deep knowledge and wisdom, combined with a high standard of beauty in the way he closes, in the way he teaches also, the beauty that he radiates in how he is and how he organizes his surrounding, also here in this immersion, goes on in the way he teaches. That is what I experience. I study a lot Kabbalah, and in the middle of in the middle of the tree of life is Tiferet, and Tiferet is beauty, and the beauty is also a way to God. And at the end, above in the tree of life is wisdom and knowledge, leading to the Keter, to the crown, and that's what I really also see by Igor. This radiating beauty that leads to a higher state of you can go with him in this radiance of light.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Miriam? What was it that attracted you to come here? Was it the same thing?
So Igor, what attracted me at Igor's speech then, or when I met him in Amsterdam, was there was a real heart-to-heart connection, and I saw his pure light being, and also that he sang then the song Om Namah Shivaya, and that's our main mantra in our life, Om Namah Shivaya. So there was a deep connection I felt, and I also like the way he does his meditation. Yes.
Maybe you can speak to me, like, what has this experience been like on being here on retreat? What has it been like?
Well, for me it was this week. I started. I was very open and blanco. So I only saw Igor once in Amsterdam for 1 hour, and then maybe a little talk on YouTube I saw from Igor. And I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking, we're going to do meditation with Igor and sing mantras or something. I didn't have any clue at all. So in the first beginning, it was quite overwhelming, because he knows so a lot about the whole cosmology, the whole universe. And I'm a very practical lady, so I sometimes I need to ground it for myself. I like the meditations. The meditations we do in the group and together, it getting more deepen. And for me, the silence inside is getting deeper this week. Also, my understanding about this, how to become one, or what's the path to become enlightened. It's more clear now. So for me, it's more experience. It's not so what I heard or see around me. I don't have this great catharsis.
Explosions of energy.
I have explosions, but it's more like in the field. Like I'm having a very big light body, or but my heart explodes with love. But it's not. It's not. There coming any emotion. The biggest emotion is feeling warmth and love. But I like how he builds it up, and I'm very grateful that that he gives himself so totally. It's it's a great blessing that he. He's so. He's like, it's like Lakshmi. So there's so overflood, abundance of overflowing of his giving. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm also more, besides that I'm a karma yogi, I'm also a jhana yogi. I like to study, and my background is philosophy. So there's a big difference between a professor who talks about all those Indian philosophies and Igor, where you can experience that he talks the things he knows. He says he educated himself in the Tantra, and Tantra is a method, as he learned us, and he teaches this method with a precision that is sharp as an edge, so you can rely on that. And it's not only that he gives you this knowledge, but this knowledge is like a vehicle that brings you in this state. And this morning he also spoke about the jhana yoga practice, that you can go the way of the jhana, of the knowledge, processing the knowledge that brings the energy in the heart and brings you in a state of enlightenment, or in a state of higher bliss, or how do you call it?
Speak to me both a little bit more about, a big part of this work is like the energy and transmission that comes through, the transmission of Shakti. What has been your experience of that here, in the meditations or in general in the retreat? Like a lot of people feel it, and a lot of people have kriyas, and so what has been your experience?
Yeah, my experience with this transmission or flowing of energy, how you call it, it's more subtle. So I feel more like when we are in a meditation, so at some point and there's some moving my spine or in the center, and sometimes it's just flowing, and that's the movement, and also feeling much more energy flowing through my whole body, and also the body awareness expands, like I'm having a very big, large body. As a human being, I can see he's enlightened. I can see that, I can feel that he's open to the whole field. So he senses what I'm thinking something, and he reacts on it. So he's like he's playing also this, what you call the lilas, the divine play. I can see, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very special to be with him. He's a very subtle energy, and he has both the feminine and the male aspects. It's very balanced. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what we have in common is living life in the world, living the life of a householder, and taking responsibility for your family, and taking responsibility for your place in the world, not separating yourself from the world to live in a monastery or your whole life in an ashram, but just go to an ashram or to a monastery to let it the battery, and then going in the world again. And that's also the role of this immersion. We are here together to feed ourselves with this high energy, and then we go back in the world to bring it back, to bring it further in the world, because it's not just for ourselves, it's to bring it in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully to bring it to a harvest. Yeah.
Is there anything more you feel to share about any topic, about something about being here at the retreat that maybe I didn't cover?
The role as a teacher, of Igor's role as teacher, how I experience it in comparison to other teachers, is that I have had different teachers from different religious traditions, especially a teacher from the Dzogchen tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. And what difficult is in this going into this tradition is the culture gap, so to say. You have to learn the Tibetan words, and there's often also a language problem. Now less, because we have the second, third generation Tibetan teachers. But Igor comes, of course, from our own background, our ground, our culture, Western culture. And he reached this state of enlightenment just being here in the West. And that makes it more, for me, maybe, I don't know, but I think that because of that it's more accessible.